Hey there, today's project we have a Sega Game Gear. So this is the RayEarth model that's boxed. Had this one for a little while, but I have never put batteries in it and tested it. So let's do that now and we'll see how it goes. Right, so out of the box, it's actually very tidy. Hardly any scratches on the lens at all. And very clean. And you can see it's the original release because it's got the RAY at the end of the model number. But yeah, this one's very tidy, and it comes with the RayEarth game as well. So yeah, we'll get 6 AA batteries, pop them in, and see what happens. Right, got the batteries in now, flip it over, and we'll turn it on. Alright, goes off pretty much straight away. Let's try it with the game. Well, that's good. We can see the game's running, comes up, but then it goes off straight away, which is a classic example that this needs recapping. I mean, all these old Game Gears, if they haven't been recapped, they need doing anyway, even if the caps look good, because they will eventually leak. When they do leak, they corrode the board and create havoc in there. Luckily, by the looks of it, this one hasn't really, it's not too bad, because it still boots up. So what we'll do is we'll pull this apart and we'll have a look at recapping it. To pull this apart, all it does is it has 6 Phillips screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it has a game bit screw, which is the Nintendo screw here, which I have a screwdriver for. It always just has it in that top piece. One thing I have noticed too is there's a little bit of corrosion on these battery terminals only on this side, so I'll probably look at replacing those because I have a few of these spare with some good terminals. So I'll do that as well. All those screws are out. I don't think this one's ever been opened before. You can tell when you undo the screws, they give a little bit of a crack when they first start unscrewing. And that's usually a sign that they haven't actually been opened up since the day they were made. So now we've done that, all we do is open the 2 halves up, unplug the power board at the top here, and unplug the 2 cables on the speaker board, or the sound board I should say. Like so. So that looks pretty good. We will replace the caps on the soundboard because they're prone to going as well and leaking. They look good, but we'll still replace them anyway. Obviously we know the power board's good. We will do a quick test on that just to make sure. And then looking at the main board, yeah, this is very good, very tidy. So we've got the capacitors, we've got 3 on this side, and all the rest are on this side, but we've got none leaking, which is a bonus. So you can see there, they're all very good. So obviously something's failed capacitor wise in there, which is causing it to turn off straight away. So it's good that we've managed to get it before the capacitors have started leaking on top of the failure side of it. So what we'll do first is we'll pull both the power board out and the soundboard out, and we'll do those ones first. So we've got both the power board and the soundboard out. What we'll do is put the soundboard aside. We'll just do some quick checks on the power board first. I'll just show you which pins you check on. It's good to have a bench power supply to do this. Make sure it's turned, that's on. Make sure it's turned off before we do this. And what we do is we just hook up 9 volts, minus and plus on here from the bench power supply. And then I'll show you what points we use on this part. Right, so I've got 9 volts going into here. Oops, it turned off, so we'll switch that on. And then what you do is you just count up 3 up from the bottom, and that's your earth. 3 and 4 are earth. And then this bottom pin should be 5 volts, and we're nowhere near at 2.5. Next one up should be 5 as well. Nothing near it. And then we count up we go to the very top one. The top one is the high voltage feed for the display. Should be about 32, 34 volts. And that's only 1.1. Next one down should be 9 volt, which is straight from the power supply. Yep, and the next one down should be about 1.2. That's correct. So obviously we're going to need to replace the capacitors on this one. So we'll do that now, and then we'll have a look once we've done that. I've just pulled the capacitors out of there, and I don't know if you can see there is leakage around a couple of the bases of a couple of them, so replacing all three is good. Right, changed all three capacitors, now hooked up the power supply to 9 volts. Let's turn that on and let's see what readings we get this time. So again, we go 3 up from the bottom, or 4th up from the bottom. It's our earth, and we should have 5 volts, which we do. Second pin up should be 5 volts as well, which it is. Very top should be 32 to 34. Look at that, 33.8. Next one down should be 9 volts. Yep, next one should be 1.2. Perfect. We now know we've got a good working power supply, so we can put that aside, and then what we'll do is we'll recap the soundboard. It's just a simple thing to do as well, just while we've got it open. With the soundboard, you've got 3 100 UF capacitors and 2 47 UF capacitors, the little ones. I just replace them with the little SMD capacitors. I'll show you how I do that. But one little thing, people have all different ways of removing these capacitors. You can unsolder them, all that kind of thing. I find just getting your side cutters or your little flush cutters and actually just putting it on here and just giving it a twist. Just do that. I've never torn a trace doing this. Like, I'm not ripping it up, I'm just giving it a bit of a twist, and then all you do is you just take off the little protective, the little plastic piece at the bottom, and you just got your leg sticking up, and all you do is just use a bit of solder wick and just remove that and just resolder it, and done. So I'll remove the rest of those, and then I'll show you how to put on the next one. So if you want the information as to what SMDs to use on this and the main board, you can actually go to Retro6 Wiki. That's where I get all my stuff from, and on there they actually show you how you can use just these little SMDs, which are perfect. On the wiki, it actually does say just to put all 100 UF capacitors in the 5, but I like to keep it original with 3 100s in the big ones and 2 47s in the small ones. So I'll drop those on now. That's all done. Doesn't take too long at all. And the thing I like about these capacitors is they got such a small footprint. You can see they hardly take up any room compared to the old capacitors, and it's even better inside the Game Gear itself because they take up hardly any room at all. So that's good to go. So what we'll do is we'll put this and the power board back into the back of the unit, and that part will be ready. That's all done and back together, so that's good to go. But what we will do while we've got the back is we will just remove the these ones here that are sort of look a bit corroded. The only one that's good is that one in the corner, but we'll remove the other ones and we'll swap them over. To show you how easy it is. These things actually just pop out and they have little clips on each side. So those ones you just pop out, and when you pop them back in, all you do is slide them in like so, and just push them down until they clip in, nice and easy. One at each end though is soldered on, so what we will do is we'll just, I just tend to just try and get something underneath there and just push it back. That way I can just keep the same tubing on there, and then I just put a bit of solder wick on there just to try and remove that solder from here. It'll come off. Okay. Just like that, because it does have to pass through quite a small gap on the other end. And so once we've done that, we'll solder the new one on. You can see here, once it's out, you can actually see bad corrosion on it compared to one that's come out of a good back. So you can actually put these in white vinegar and try and get most of that off, but I've got so many old Game Gear bits floating around that I just throw them away. So that new one's all soldered on, and then you just push that back up. Done. So that now has nice clean battery contacts all around. So we'll put that aside and we'll now work on the other motherboard here. I've only put this down because this is so clean, I don't want to scratch it any more than it already is. It's got hardly anything on it. So just doing little things like this just saves your gear, especially when it's so tidy. And then all I do is I just remove each capacitor, and the easiest way to do this is just get your Get your tweezers. I don't bother pulling the motherboard out. Some people do. I don't bother because I'm careful not to burn anything around it. But all I do is I just grab my tweezers and just heat up one side of the leg, and that lifts. Heat up the other side, lifts up. Heat up the other side again, and one more side again. There, nice and easy. That's all you do. And then all I do here is I just clean those up with a little bit of solder wick, and then just put a new little blob of solder on each before I put the new SMDs in. So now I'll remove all the rest, and I'll see you when I've done that. Right, that's all done now. Remove them all, and I've just put little solder balls on each capacitor leg there. And then what I do is, again, Retro 6 wiki. Awesome information on there. Your Game Gear will be one of two. It'll either be a 1 chip, which is this one, or it'll be a 2 chip, which will have 2 chips here and 2 chips down here. And what I've done is I've just gone on the Retro 6 wiki and printed off exactly what you need. So the VA1, VA2 is the 1 chip, which I've got here, and the other one you can get is the VA0, the 2 chip, which is the original, the first off ones. 2 chips there, 2 chips there. And it actually tells you, like my one here, it actually tells you what chip, SMD capacitors to use. As you can see, 5 100 UFs, 5 10 UFs, and 10 1 UFs, and it actually color codes as to where to put them as well. So it's really, really easy. Just jump on that Retro 6 wiki. It's really, really good. So what I'll do is I'll start putting on the capacitors. I'll show you how it's done, and then hopefully we'll be finished pretty quick. There we go, that's all done. That took all of about 8 minutes to do all of the capacitors, and as you can see, because the footprint's so small, it actually just looks really tidy. And I have tried at the very start doing one of these with electrolytic capacitors, and as you know, trying to fit them in, squeeze them in, bend them over, get them at the right angle is a bit of a pain in the butt, especially when you're trying to put the back on. But with these, you don't have that worry at all, because they're all just sitting so flat and so tidy. This one was good though, because it had no corrosion, so it was just a simple putting the capacitors on and done. Right, let's put the back on, put some batteries in, and see how we go. Put batteries in here, put the covers on. All we do is we just plug everything back in the way it came apart. So power back in there, and we've got this one goes to the speaker at the front, so that one just goes in there, and this one's from the motherboard to the sound card, sending the sound signal. And what I do, I don't screw it all back together yet. I just put it together like so, and we'll grab a game, and here it is. So I'll grab the RayEarth game that it came with, turn it up, put it about the middle, and we'll test it. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. It's a shame I can't read Japanese. As you can see, everything's working fine. Sounds good. Brightness display's good. I'm really happy with that. So now I can screw it all together. Put it all back together, screw it together, and by keeping the original screen is awesome, especially in a rare one like this RayEarth model in a box. It's actually really cool keeping it all original. The only thing that's not original, of course, is the capacitors we changed, but you have to do it on all of them. If you leave it, they'll leak and they'll just cause chaos on that board. All right, now that's all done, all buttoned up, all screwed back together. Let's try a bit of Sonic and Tails. See that all right? very happy with that. We'll take the batteries out of that. Don't leave the batteries in them, of course. Leave the batteries in them and you get the same issue again, we get battery leakage. But yeah, very happy with that. Just a couple of fingerprints on the screen, which I'll clean up very carefully with glass cleaner. But as you can see here, this one, very, very tidy. It's a shame it's actually missing the little red cap over the port there, but that's the only thing missing on it. But yeah, very, very tidy. Very happy with this. Right, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up if you can. And if you want to see more, subscribe, because I'm going to be posting, I'm going to try and post every weekend at least one video. Yeah, so if you like that, go hard.